Hey, it's Central Valley Business. I'm your host, Steve Wally. My guests for this segment are Kay and Arnulfo. Did I get that right?
You got it right, man.
I got it right?
Yeah.
He was here before, and it was Arnold last time, but I got it right. But we're talking insurance today, and particularly we're talking about farmers, right?
Yes, farmers insurance.
Glad I got that right, too. No. Okay, farmers insurance. Now, Kay, you were telling me that you've been with farmers for quite a while, like
Yes.
13, 14 years, right?
Yes. I
But
have.
a good part of that time, you actually trained agents.
Yes.
So at some point in time, you decided to, get out of the training business and get into the agent business, right?
That's right.
Yeah? How do you
That's
like
right.
it?
I love it
Yeah.
because I really enjoy the aspect of going over coverages with clients, just making sure they have adequate coverage, reviewing and help them understand the terminology, and that brings joy and brings confidence.
Yeah, it's kind of a
for
nice
both
feeling
of
when you
us.
help somebody out.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, Arnulfo, you've been with farmers how long now?
I'm going on 3 months.
On 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
You made the big jump.
I made the big jump.
It was a step up, right?
I'm with the winning team now.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
And you've been doing this for a while also.
Yes, sir.
And I won't say it's been a couple weeks since you were on with that other. We won't talk about that. But at the time, you were doing pretty good, and you have continued to grow in your business. And you were kind of excited at that time when I had you on. See, I got a couple of great. I can remember because, and I'm gonna talk to both of you now because in the industry, as I said before we went on camera, people tend to associate, particularly when we talk about insurance companies, usually two things come up. First is auto and health, or one of the two. And then life insurance comes up. And then, we got homeowners insurance. And then there's various other aspects of our life
That's right.
that insurance can be available. If I'm a business owner, if I'm a landlord, if I'm a renter. And what are we talking about in all these various things? And I just touched on some of them. We're talking about, one, protection.
Yes.
Okay, being protected. And in today's world, as we all know right now with this little bitty critter that's got most of us locked up, protection's a good thing.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
in all levels. But also, and we talked about this before we went on camera, Kate, the idea surrounding life insurance in particular
Yes.
is it's more than just life insurance.
Yes.
Tell me about some of the plans that you offer and the benefits of those plans.
Okay. There are different kinds of life insurance. There's those who are that are good for a period of time. So
Right.
they're designed to be just following a mortgage or following a
term,
need, a term.
we call them term life.
Term life.
Yeah.
And then there are permanent kinds of insurance that involve cash value buildup. You can invest, possibly invest those, or at least earn interest and borrow against that money that's growing.
They become an incredible tool.
Yes.
The thing is, young people, young people,
Yes.
they don't have common sense, right? But he's the exception.
Yes.
But young people don't think of long term,
That's
okay?
right.
So oftentimes you get a salesperson that will come in and they'll sell them, I can get you a $2 million policy for 50 cents a week. Isn't that great? If you happen to be around long enough to remember A.L. Williams.
Yes.
Now, that was one of, it was always term. You could buy, I think it was like $200 blocks at like $2 a month or something.
Yes.
But you could get this incredible amount, and it didn't cost you a whole lot. And if you lived longer than what the term was on it, well, it was all gone.
Yeah.
Okay. They didn't teach young people the value of interest, compounding interest.
That's right.
And this is where the tool of, a full life, whole life insurance can and I know Farmers offers these policies in several different formats.
Yes.
But the idea is you get in early and you're not paying a lot.
That's right.
But over the life of the policy, not only is, at first there's a time that the policy pays off, but part of that money is still going towards the investment side.
That's right.
And it's earning interest, and then you reach a point to where you've kind of paid off that policy or the majority of it, and more of that money is going to an interest earning account.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, by the time you get to be my age, you can tell your kids to kiss goodbye. You know, I'm not living with you. I'm buying my boat, you know, my whatever. But you've got this investment tool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or if you're a parent and you have a child and you know, college is not inexpensive these
That's
days.
right.
You can borrow money against your policy.
Yes.
Or maybe, you know, with the market being down like it is now, I could pull some money out of my policy to invest, you know, on a short-term investment. And I always have the option of taking, or for most policies, you can correct me if I'm
Yes.
wrong, but I can put the money back in that I've borrowed
Yes.
out from it.
Correct.
And there's several different ways that money can be borrowed and, you know,
Return.
returned or whatever.
Yes, absolutely.
Now that I've done your job for you,
Yeah,
no.
you see, you said it beautifully.
Yeah.
The only thing I want to add to what you said is
Well, I had
that-
to leave something for you, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're kind. Time is of an essence. Every time we have a birthday, it's going to cost us more to have the same coverage. So I urge us to look into that, and we can start a plan with what you can afford. So get
And
started.
you can grow your policies.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and that's one of the things.
Mhm.
You know, Arnold, you're sitting over there and you're going, man. In your experience, and I know that you've had, you know, I tease you for being young, but you're not that young.
Not that young.
No, you're not that young.
I'm on my way.
Yeah, there you go. But you had, you know, you've got some ground under your feet, so to speak. You had experiences. In the market that you've dealt with, what is the product that seems the younger people? What when they come? What are they saying? Well, you know, Arnulfo, I want, you know, the most for the least, and
Yes, right.
is that kind of where you're at with that?
Well, a lot of my the people that I have dealt with, my friends in my circle, they tend to look for, you know, affordable products as far as auto insurance goes, and I always strive to provide the best customer service that I can provide and find them the best deal. So I'm diligent with all of that good stuff, and for the most part, you know, I try to, you know, rock and roll with that good stuff.
Yeah.
Get them insured and get them good coverage at a good rate, and so.
And there's many different ways that a person, and particularly young people, you know, talking about auto insurance, the products that are available, the way that they can go, you know, do I really want comp and collision on my, you know, 1959 $25, you know, beater that I get around, or, you know, well, maybe I want health, you know, benefits if I'm in an accident, for example.
Absolutely.
But you know what? The thing is, and I'm kind of having fun with both of you.
Yes.
You both are experienced, and you both take good care of your clients, and that's important because it's not about the sale. It's about, and you talked about that, and you talked about your friends getting them the best auto policy. It's about taking care of them.
Yes.
You mentioned it. You know, when you're talking about age, birthdays are important. Okay, when you talk to people, you become a consultant.
That's
You're
right.
no longer a salesperson. You are a financial advisor, and that's I know in farmers today, that's how they train their agents up.
Yes.
You know, years ago they may have had sales people. Today they train up, you know, people that are counselors, people that, you know, look out and make long-term. You know, you got a few years to get to my point in life, but you're going to have clientele that when you get to my point in life, they will have been with you for that whole ride because you've taken care of them each and every step of the way. And they recognize that, they've been grateful, but they've been a beneficiary of the care that you've given them.
If,
Okay.
if I may add, the one thing that I do strive to is to not just sell them a product. I want them to know what it is that they are getting, what are the coverages,
Yeah.
and thoroughly explain what it is that they are paying for so that they understand themselves too. That's key.
It is. And you know what? It's going to come back to you in things like, you know, I didn't really want to pay for that, but boy, I'm glad that you set me down and explained that to me because right now it is paid. And I'm making fun, but that's true.
That's right.
And you get those, you know,
Yes, we get
you get
them.
people that are resistant. Well, you know, I mean, it's X dollars more a month, and you know, I could buy more gumdrops or whatever, right? You know, I could get my girlfriend. I can get my girlfriend, take her out, get her some more flowers or something.
Yeah.
And the girlfriend's going, you dope. Get coverage. Take care of
Yes.
yourself.
Yeah.
Take care of us.
Yeah.
Important.
And she's the smart one. And yeah,
That's
maybe
right.
I'm being a little old school, but, I've been around the block a time or three.
Life experience
Yeah.
speaks for itself.
you go.
Yes, absolutely.
And I know that you can't, for privacy purposes, give specifics. But in your experience with farmers, what's been the most memorable experience that you've been involved with?
Actually, the most memorable was when I was talking to a business owner, and in that particular case, going over the coverages and making sure that there was no what we call gap in coverage,
Right.
that they understand the limits they have for the risks things that could happen at the business. And we talked about employee protection, if you will, and as a feature in the packet. And boy, was he happy that we did check that box and add that benefit, because
Things happen.
yes, and there was coverage, and we came through, and the claim was paid because there was coverage, and
Right.
something he wouldn't have known that it even existed
So,
otherwise.
not only do you provide for your clientele, but if someone has another company's policy and they want to get an evaluation,
Yes, a review.
you do that, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We offer that for free, just to make sure that you have, as a consumer, you have a correct understanding of what you need versus what you have. And there's nothing worse than thinking you had a coverage, you need the claim, and they tell you, sorry,
Oh, sorry.
that wasn't included, and it could have been included.
Right.
That's the part we're trying to avoid. That's
Yeah.
why it's so important to review policies annually. We're committed to do it at renewal,
Right.
or as things happen, events happen in life.
Right.
We want to make sure our clients can call us, let us know. People have more children, births happen, people pass away, we inherit money, we, we change where we live, we go from an apartment to a home. So all these life events.
Okay, I would
require
imagine that
coverage.
this time with the way things are, it'd probably be a good time for people to, reach into that back of the filing cabinet and pull stuff out. I got nothing better to do. I'm sitting here, throwing wet paper towels at the wall. Maybe I could get my policies evaluated and
Yes.
reviewed.
Okay.
Might be a good thing, huh?
It might be,
There you
yes.
go.
I strongly
Absolutely.
recommend that, yes.
Anything else you two would like to share before we close?
I want to add one more thing. Like you mentioned, the younger generation, we are not keen to looking out for life insurance, but there's one cardinal rule to life. It's it's a heavy one. It's death. It doesn't not.
Nobody gets out
Yeah.
alive.
Nobody gets out alive, and so
And
life insurance is
Unfortunately,
key.
Yes.
I'm here to tell you,
Mhm.
over the span of my life, I've known a lot of very young people that could have had protection
Yes.
that chose not to.
Yeah.
And that it's, no skin off their neck, so to speak, they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
It's the people they leave behind.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
that's tragic sometimes.
You don't
Well-
want to leave a burden. Sorry,
Yep.
you don't want to leave a burden on your family.
So I want to thank you for being with me today.
Thank you.
You come on back. Oh, you know what? This is nice, but how do I get a hold of you? You got an office, right? Where's your
Yes.
office?
Our office is on Bullard and First, on the corner of
On the
Bullard
corner,
and First.
yeah.
Yes.
Farmers Insurance, right?
Farmers
Bullards?
Insurance.
Okay.
Yes.
We got a phone number?
559-222.
7777.
Oh, you'll let him.
It's
talk.
easy,
there
I
you go.
know.
Yeah. Okay, what about Facebook? We got our webpage.
Facebook,
We got
yes.
webpage, Facebook page?
We have a web page.
Or you could find us at farmersagent/K Farjadi.
Yes.
Okay.
And we have Facebook, k.farmersinsurance.com.
Okay.
Yeah,
There you go.
it's
We're also
on
active on Instagram,
Instagram. Yes.
and that's
Now, for those younger people, that's important.
Yes.
Facebook's becoming passe. they say,
Yeah,
So
yes.
that's
you can find us also on Instagram at k.farjadi Farmers Insurance.
There you
Yes.
go. All right. Anything else you'd like to share before we leave?
Thank you for having us.
Well, thank you for being here.
For
More importantly,
sharing.
thank you for what you do, because you
thank you.
provide a very good service.
Wonderful.
And you got a great company,
Thank you.
okay?
All
So you
right.
take care.
You too.
Thanks.
I hope you paid attention. A lot of wisdom was shared. You take care, and I'll see you when we come back.